Hello there, it has been way too long since anything happened in the Pyra world, and well, it's time to get things started again. As you know, I moved to a new location. It took a very long time to set everything up in the new location, a lot more time than I ever anticipated. As you can see here, the streaming place is almost finished now as well. I just need to cover these boxes up with something, but that should not keep us from posting news today here. On the back side, that's actually a video wall which MCO here from the community built for the Gamescom. I resurrected it and thought it's a nice background to do video updates. I can put full animations on there, and well, as you can see, it looks fabulous. I really love that thing. And yeah, well, so I will use it for future updates and for the update today. So, what has been happening? Well, we set up the new room where we can finally start to reassemble Pyras, and as you can see here on the table, yes, we finally started to reassemble Pyras this week. So assembly has continued. Still with the old cases we have left, but the new cases will be ordered this week. I received the samples, they are working fine. So the battery compartment has been improved. The assembly is a lot easier, and I don't need to do all the manual modifications. So as soon as these arrive, we can really continue to assemble in full speed. But we got a lot of pre-assembled Pyras here. So pre-assemble means half-finished cases where, for example, the complete keyboard and lid has been assembled, where I only need to put in the PCB, assemble, flash the OS, and that's it. Ascaros is coming to help again assemble the Pyras once a week. So yes, at least once a week there's one Pyra assembly day. But as it looks like, I've got a bigger team here now to help out at the shop, so I can concentrate more on everything that's Pyra related, assembly, testing, preparing for the future and stuff like that. So yes, finally it looks like we're almost done here and can restart the production and work on the cases. So I also will take some more time and try to work on fixes for the operating system. As you know, I'm not a developer. I cannot do the fixes myself, but I can at least help. And well, the biggest issue with the Pyra right now is that the power consumption is way too high. I already talked briefly with HNS and ATC about that, and while there are some things that can be fixed, and which I will concentrate on. For example, at the moment, everything is always on. So, well, unless you disable Wi-Fi yourself. But for example, these sensors are always running. The USB system is always running. Similar to it, this is how it was on the Pandora at the beginning. Everything was always on. And if you have a Pandora, you know that you can disable the USB port and enable it to save some power. So this is some things I will try to look into, to be able to disable all the stuff and see how much power we can save there. So to get more power out of the battery and longer battery time. Also, what I want to work on is, you've seen it probably at the boards, that somebody in the community experimented with different frequency settings that can be added, which makes the Linux system choose lower frequencies and not always choose the higher ones. So this also saves battery, and we can also try to work on the voltages to even lower the battery consumption a lot more. Well, one of the problems here is we have on the Pandora, you might remember there was that one update where the power consumption went a lot better. So basically the major thing here was the implementation of Smart Reflex, which is a technique by Texas Instruments to reduce the battery consumption a lot by constantly measuring the voltage levels of the single cores and then lowering the voltage, and as soon as it recognizes, oh, there are some well, some calculations error inside the CPU, if the voltage is too low, then up the voltage a bit. So it constantly measures basically the CPU, the consumption and the voltage of the CPU, and optimizes it. Well, problem is this smart reflex is only implemented in older kernels, and it seems very, very hard to implement it into newer kernels. So this would be the holy grail to the battery consumption, or to solving the battery consumption issue we have. But it's not very likely that it will be easily solved. I will still try to ask some developers at the kernel mailing list to see if this can be improved, but well, we have some other ideas as well. For example, as I said, trying to figure out which voltage is the lowest one that every Pyra can run at different frequency speeds, lowering the frequency speeds and stuff like that. So this will improve the battery life, but not as good as we have if we could use Smart Reflex. But unless somebody manages to get Smart Reflex working with more recent kernels, then it doesn't look like it's an easy task to achieve here. So yes, let's see how far we can go there, but there are some ideas to improve things. HNS is also working on the AESS, on the audio subsystem, audio engine subsystem, I think it's called, which enables the DSP and makes the battery consumption probably go lower as well, because at the moment every sound the Pyra makes is being resampled by the CPU, and this needs a lot of power. And once we have the AESS enabled and fully working with the DSP, this is not needed anymore, so it will also solve some battery issues here. So yeah, Nicholas is working on that. He's actually pretty far already. The binary driver is loading. Not all devices are appearing yet, and he doesn't know if the DSP is doing anything yet, but basically it is working. So just needs a bit more debugging, and hopefully somebody can help here and get it to work. Okay, so much for fixes for the operating system. I will try to get this going as good as I can. I'm not a developer, as said, but I can try to get some developers to work on that, and I can also try to help out and do measurements with all the CPU boards I have and the Pyra CPU boards. So now for something completely different. Well, not completely. It's Pyra related, but it's not OMIP related, because well, we are looking into a new SoC to replace the OMIP 5, of course. Don't worry, this will not make your OMIP 5 Pyra now obsolete, simply because you know how long it took us to get the OMIP 5 board working, so we are still far away from getting the new SoC working, but I can share some details with you. It looks like it will be the Rockchip RK3568, which seems to fit into the Pyra, which should work passively a lot better, consume less battery, and well, as far as I know, it should be roughly as fast as the Raspberry Pi 4. So this will be a great update. It will also be a 64 bits SoC. And well, the support is a lot better than for an abandoned SoC, that's for sure, because if TI was still working on the OMIP 5, then probably Smart Reflex would be working as well with the newest kernel, but well, they won't pick it up again. So Rockchip is giving a lot of support here. Basically, you buy a package from them, which is around $3,300 US. So once you buy that, you get all the schematics, you get support from them. So if you have any questions, they will reply to it, and they will also review your own schematics. So you can be sure they will take a look at our design and say, well, looks like this will work, or there's probably some error here, you should try and fix that. And the other thing is they will help you port Linux to it if you have, or optimize your Linux for it if you have any special needs or problems for that price. So that looks pretty good. The support for the CPU will be at least for 15 years. So 15 years is the time frame you can at least buy the CPU and get any updates for it. And if you hear any noises, that's my dog over there. who just looks at me now and, is he talking about me? Well, yes, I am. Actually, yeah, he's coming over now. So, yes, we have decided that this will probably be the next SoC. So what happens to all the pre-orders? Well, as long as we are still assembling Pyras, of course, it's okay, it's okay. As long as I'm still having boards here and assembling Pyras, we will still use, of course, the current OMAP 5. And as said, I want to get it working better, so to save more power, to be more compatible and stuff like that. So we will not stop work. We will not stop working on the OMAP 5 SoC. But at the same time, the hardware design can start on the Rockchip SoC, and as soon as we are able to produce working Rockchip CPU boards, then everyone who pre-ordered the Pyra and still hasn't got it will at least receive the new CPU board, of course. We will also try. It's okay now. Okay, it's okay. Well, now you see my dog. I love him. He's helping me assemble the Pyra, of course. That's so. If you ever find some dog hairs inside of the Pyra, it's him. So yeah, it will still take a while. We are working on that, and of course, if you already have a Pyra with an OMAP 5 CPU, I will try to get you the new CPU board for production cost price. So that's for sure. And if you didn't get a Pyra until then you will automatically get the new Rockchip. But that's far in the future, so don't worry about it for now. For now, we are still assembling Pyras with the OMAP 5, so everybody will get a Pyra as soon as possible. What's he doing there? Snoopy! Yeah, playing with some bubble wrap, which makes a lot of noise. Yeah, back to the Archive 3568. Yeah, we are looking into it. We will probably use it as a next SoC, but it will still take a long time. But I will keep you updated, and of course we will try to update the current OMAP 5 operating system stuff, and we have started to restarted to assemble the Pyra. So everybody who pre-ordered or who made the final order should receive it within the next few days or weeks, depending on the delivery service. And we should then move the queue up at least to the next 200-300 units pretty fast. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this news post. I try to be more active at the forum again, but as said, almost everything is sorted here now. I had to do a lot of work, like sorting all the cases we still have, sorting all the remaining Pyra parts we have, calculating or counting them and making lists of that and stuff like that. It was a lot of work, a lot more than I thought, but now we're back on track. Restart assembly with help. Have more help in the shop, and well, thank you as always for your support, trying the best here. We had a lot of issues, but I won't give up. We will try to get through everything we have here. That's it for today. See you soon. Bye.